Welcome to Camper Strike, the show where I go camping with some of your favourite CS personalities. This time we're at Pitchcott Farm in Aylesbury. Nestled deep in the Buckinghamshire countryside, Pitchcott Farm promises a stay where you can reconnect with nature in their tranquil meadow. There's a composting toilet and an outdoor shower inside a tree line, which was delightful, by the way. And my guest for this stay is Dweg, an Australian CS commentator living in the UK. A domestic icon and staple of the epic LAN bar, he's been involved in the CS scene for nearly 10 years. We spent an evening hanging out, cooking some food and chatting about CS. This is Camper Strike. Right, let's put a tent up. We're gonna have to move The extended cut of this with an extra 40 minutes of conversation is available on Patreon, link in the description.
I did bring some tongs. I didn't bring a frying pan though.
Well, that's all right, because I didn't bring any tongs. So between us, we've got a full cookware set.
Right, the cutlery is frozen, but it's okay. Oh, you have got sauces.
I've got some burger sauce.
Yeah.
I've got some ketchup. Yeah.
Okay.
You a ketchup man?
Oh yeah, love ketchup. I've got on everything.
These were frozen this morning. Don't think they will be now. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you just can't see the flame. It's on. I think we'll be here a while, you know. Yeah. I'm not. Seems all right. It's quite a cool little thing, really. Like, it's just a portable hob that you can take with you anywhere.
I was going to say, those cans, I see, funny enough, a lot of Asian restaurants use them for like hot pots.
Really?
For whatever reason, I don't know why they don't just have gas wired into the plumbing. But they've got all the individual tables you go, especially around London. They just come like every hour and replace the can. I'm like, this just can't be self-sufficient.
Yeah, like, unless they've got like a big can at the back that they're refilling all these little cans with, because you can't just be going to go outdoors every week and buy in 40 butane cans.
But yeah, that's one thing I miss about Australia actually, is Korean barbecue. I feel like it's not popular in England, or at least there's just not many places that do it.
Yeah, I've heard like really good stuff about Korean barbecue, and I've never seen a place.
Yeah.
And like, you know, been like, oh, I can go in and have a look. Which is weird, because most other international sort of, you know, food and stuff, we tend to get a decent amount of.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially the English, like love Chinese, love Indian, Thai, but yeah, Korean food is just like, Japanese even not, well, Japanese is probably a bit bigger.
It's like that whole joke where it's like, you know, oh, I want some proper English food, like a Chinese or an Indian.
Yeah.
I think fish and chips are great.
Oh yeah, nah, I'm with you.
Beyond that, it's a lot of gravy meals.
When I first moved here, I was like, nah, it's frowned upon to order chips from a Chinese or an Indian place. I was like, I can't do it. And then over time...
But it is the way.
And then over time, not so much Indian, because I feel like, especially with naan and everything, I'm like, it's just unnecessary. But the chips at a Chinese...
Unbelievable.
So good.
Like salt and pepper or salt and chili. Yeah. Some Indian places do like masala chips.
I've seen them.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I've not tried masala chips.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Depends on the place though. Like sometimes you'll get a place that does like masala chips with like, it's the masala like sauce.
Oh,
it's like quite not like sauce, but it's like kind of thick, and then sometimes you get it, they do it with powder, like a seasoned mix. I think the sauce one's better.
Well, I remember when we went to the Paris Major.
Yeah.
We went to an Indian somewhere on the outskirts of Paris. We like looked for so many places. Like the Indian restaurants just do not exist out there. So anyway, we found this place and it was just, of course, empty. Like there was just not a single person in there. And I was like, okay, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And there was probably about, I don't know, 10, 12 of us that went. And menu looked kind of normal. You know, nothing.
Kind of normal.
Like nothing out of the ordinary. So I ordered a cheese naan. And when it came, I took one bite. I'm like, what is this? I was like, I've ordered a cheese naan.
Yeah.
I had another bite, and it's clocked on the second bite that it's Philadelphia cheese in the naan. I'm like, who's thought of that? Like, it goes in a tandoor. Like, so it's cooking with Philadelphia cheese.
No.
It was, like, slimy, and then I was like, I can't believe this is a cheese naan.
Yeah. No, not. My favourite is like a garlic and chili's really nice.
Okay. Garlic and chili.
They'll tend to, yeah. Sometimes it's not even on the menu.
Yeah, just ask
They just
for
be like,
it.
can we have a, yeah, that works quite nice.
No, I'm simple, eh? They just go garlic. Or recently, I've been trying to go away from naan, because I actually think naan's a bit overrated.
I'm not massive on it.
Yeah.
And usually at like
just a
an
bit
Indian
filling.
restaurant, if I'm having a curry, that'll fill me
Yeah.
with a few chips on the side, maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, no, recently I've been swapping to like the chapati,
Okay.
which is like the thinner one, or the paratha, which is also like a phyllo pastry thin one too. And I'm like, I just don't feel as bloated as I do with a naan.
It is a lot, like, and they're big as well.
Well, that was funny. We went up to Birmingham thinking about like big naans. And they were like, do you want a table naan? So I've never heard of this.
What?
Yeah, and it came out and it was just massive. And there was 4 of us.
Yeah.
Couldn't finish it. And the waiter was like, nah, all the guys that come as 4, like, always finish it. I was like, that's impossible. This is not even 10 people can finish this.
Yeah.
This thing was just massive. It was cooking quite quickly, actually.
It has, yeah, I had it, I think I overdid it with the heat.
Yeah.
But it looks
pretty good colour-wise.
And yeah, I did put too much oil in as well, I think.
Well, once we keep putting more stuff on it...
It'll start, yeah. Well, I'm going to toast the buns in there, which might soak up a bit.
Yeah.
And then we can add more if we need to.
Yeah, okay.
This one's completely exploded.
Well, do we want... Because I've got 4 plates. Do we want like a meat tray?
We could do like a meat tray.
And then you can put those there and then put the buns in.
Serious amount of oil, man. I did
see the spraying of it, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I sprayed. I'm used to a bigger pan.
Yeah. So I'm not going to interrupt the chef here.
You should have. Yeah, I mean, it's a little pink in the middle, but that's kind of how you want it anyway.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to toast off the buns. I've made a mess of this table already. I've never actually used this specific pan before.
It's a good size.
It is for this.
Great size.
Where's the rest of it? Where's the... Where?
Someone's had a nibble at the buns.
Somebody's had a nibble at the buns, what the fuck? Oh my god. It's just too much oil.
Yeah. It was just a first look over.
It was, yeah. And then I've put 2 tops together.
Is it ketchup or burger sauce on a burger? Now, traditionally, I actually think the burger sauce tastes better on other items than a burger.
No, you know,
Or are you going to debate me on that
No,
one?
I'm on board.
Yeah. However,
I have burger sauce on bacon sandwiches.
Really?
Occasionally.
Okay, that is a bit rogue.
That's very oily. Would you like a cheese slice?
Yeah, I can do.
I think it's the only cool thing in my cool box. Is the cheese.
Oh, I've not had one of these, like in terms of actually being able to put one on a burger in a very long time.
They are. It's just a remarkable invention, really.
You think?
Yeah.
One of the best.
I think for its purpose, which is to go on a burger. You know, I don't think there's much that comes close, really.
So I would have thought you would have had the gherkins and...
I'm not a big pickle.
Oh no, I love a pickle.
Type guy.
I never used to like pickles.
Yeah.
It's been a recent liking. So if you were to eat a burger out somewhere, you'd always ask them to be removed.
Yeah. Or I'd not bother and take them off myself.
Yeah, okay. Also, if they're in there, but you take them out, that's okay.
Yeah.
So, like, if beetroot's in a burger,
Yeah.
I have to sling the whole thing.
Sling the whole, interesting, because the taste,
the juice, and
yeah.
It's just everywhere. Same as coriander. You put coriander in something, it's just ruined.
Yeah.
You take it out, you can still taste it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. No, I'm not that I'm not that deep into the anti-pickle type thing, but not a fan of pickle.
Well, I'll tell you what, the patty itself cooked well.
Good.
Oh, well, we got a wide variety of food today. I bought some corns as well. I didn't quite think it would be a frying pan when you said barbecue. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. It might take a while for corn to cook.
See, I'm not corn.
No.
I'm a bit of a corn hater.
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't really like the mini corns. Because I just don't even think they taste like corn. They just taste completely different.
Yeah.
But they're the same thing.
Same thing somehow. Like the little. Yeah.
They like snap in half.
Well, they look like they just got a corn before it finished growing.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, like.
I would like to know, are there certain farms that just say, no, we only want the corn? Because I assume it's the same growing process. It's just that
You finish earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, surely that'd be more lucrative if you can you're like, fuck it, they've been in the ground for a couple of weeks, we'll dig them up. Don't need to wait till they're grown.
But would you sell as many mini corns
as you
large
would?
Corns?
Because you can't sell a mini corn for the same price.
You can't. And think about a pack of mini corns, there's like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Pack of corns in Tesco's, there's like 2. So...
And it's not like your seeds would get any cheaper.
No, I think you're losing out with the mini corns.
Unless they've been, like, engineered somehow. You know?
Yeah. Well, I've seen those, what are they, like the farms in the labs, the lab farming. I'm like, that's weird. The lettuces look unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? Japan's got the square watermelons. They grow them out there. You seen them?
Oh, don't they confine them?
I don't know what they do. They must. I
thought you put them in like a mold or something. Yeah. And like now we're starting to get more lab-grown meat, which is cool. Like,
it's not a field I know too much about.
I don't know massive amount of it. I got like during lockdown, I was like, I could give reducing my like meat intake a try.
Yeah.
Didn't last very long. Like, because a lot of the alternatives are just shit. Like,
well, I've tried. What have they got? Like the nut roast, which is like like if you do a Sunday roast, it's like the veggie equivalent.
Yeah.
I just think if I for whatever reason I don't fancy meat, I'd rather have the Sunday roast and not have the alternative and just have nothing. And just have the Yorkshire pudding, potatoes, because all of that is excellent.
Yeah.
But I'm like the mushroom, like the stuffed mushroom or the nut roast, or I'm not big on the alternatives they offer.
Yeah, I tried one of the like corn do like a roast, and it's just sort of a tube of. I mean, I don't even know what it is. It's like I cooked that. The texture is diabolical. It's like jelly.
Yeah,
and I cooked it for like the instructions were like you stick that shit in there for 2 hours. Like, bro, it was awful. Like. Nah, like never. Like I actually, I gagged and then went out and threw it in the wheelie bin. No. It was like,
what a disappointment.
Yeah, which is a shame because the chicken nuggets are great.
Oh, I haven't tried them.
Corn chicken nuggets are actually unbelievably good. I was really surprised. But the roast was horrendous, and I've always found that the beef isn't as isn't as good. Like the white meat's pretty nice. The red meats are a bit lame.
Yeah, I actually don't understand how people can mess up a Sunday roast, like cooking it at home. Like I actually think it's one of the simplest.
It's
dishes.
like
the only thing that you've got to worry about is the timings.
Yeah, you got to time it.
Because I do little sheet paper. It's like, right, beef goes in at 5.
Yeah.
Potatoes 5:30. Like if you work out what time everything needs to go in, I don't know how you can mess it up.
I mean, you can even do roasts on like a single tray if you really wanted to, and you just throw everything in. Yeah, and like when people make piss water gravy as well, I feel like your gravy's got to have a bit of consistency.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
got to
yeah.
be,
Yeah.
you know, you don't want it to be mud, but it can't be watery. There's a fine line.
Yeah. See, if I'm making a Sunday roast, obviously I'll leave a gravy boat for the natural gravy from the beef.
Yeah.
However, gotta be Bisto. For
Yeah,
me.
you got to
Like,
you got to get some supplemental gravy.
Yeah.
Whenever my mum does a roast, she'll take the juices from the meat and mix it in with the Bisto, and that works pretty well.
I haven't tried that.
That works really well actually. But yeah, I agree. Like you got to keep the juice from there because that's the whole point in it. Like you know, and it's a waste otherwise.
Yeah. And as much as I love ketchup, I think ketchup on a roast can't be done.
No,
it's got to be gravy
no,
and gravy.
That's psychotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love ketchup. If you put it on a roast, you're an animal.
No.
I think any meal with like gravy, like a shepherd's pie or something.
Yeah.
Some people have ketchup with that.
Absolutely.
Nah.
I'm trying to think of some strange things that I would put ketchup on. I wouldn't do it with like a spag bowl. I mean, I know I've just said I'll do it with shepherd's pie. I'll do it with lasagna.
Okay.
But spag bowl, I'm like, because I think lasagna and shepherd's pie, because you've got the mash and the lasagna's got the pasta sheets in there, it's a little bit drier than what a spag bowl is.
Yeah, okay. I can sort of see that.
Not that it's big in England, but banana bread, like the banana loaf,
Yeah.
toasted, butter and ketchup.
Yeah, I had just some regular toast the other day with ketchup.
Yeah.
And I think that works.
Yeah, I used to, when I was at school actually, because I had like a little canteen.
Yeah.
And occasionally there'd be like I'm sure it was $1 for like a bread buttered roll, and people would buy it and they'd buy like the chicken fillets or and just stuff ramming stuff in there. I would just do the buttered roll with ketchup. That's it, like nothing else
like
needed.
Ketchup and a carb, and you're living. You know, like that's. I don't think there are many carbs that ketchup doesn't go well with. I don't think mashed potato is one of those. I think.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a weird one, or a roast potato, actually.
Yeah. Jacket potato? I've got to be honest, I wouldn't put
I just wouldn't eat a jacket potato.
Really?
I think they're a bit ass.
No, I think they're the best potato out of all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe because of the toppings. Like, it might not just be the potato, but it's what comes with it.
Yeah.
You know, you have a jacket potato, you've got so many options. You can have your tuna, beans, cheese, chili con carne. Some people like coleslaw on it.
So have you seen that van up north that does, and people have gone like feral over this?
Well, I don't know if you've seen, but one of the companies, because there's two of them.
There are two?
There's two. They're both northern.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other one's called. One's called Spud Bros.
Yeah.
And they've got one in London. I've been to it, but I know them. And then there's another guy that also does it, and he's on like the TikTok and Instagram, what have you. But Spud Bros are now either the front line sponsor, or at least on the front of the jersey of Preston North End for the upcoming season. I'm like, how has that happened? That a van selling jacket potatoes.
Like, the line's mental though. Like,
well, I mean, it makes like they're obviously bringing in money.
Yeah.
But the fact that like Preston North End is like a champion, I think they're championship, and they're like one of the oldest clubs in England with quite a lot of history, and they've got jacket potatoes sponsoring them. It's just mental.
It is mental. I guess the thing with jacket potatoes for me is like the inside ends up with the sort of consistency and flavour of like a boiled or.
But have you just not had a properly cooked one? Like,
I don't know. Like whenever like I haven't had one in years, to be fair. But whenever I get one, I just get some butter and then just mash up the inside, and I'd make mashed potato out of the middle of the.
Yeah.
Because I like mashed potato, and it's just butter and.
Yeah.
Butter and a thing. So it might be my bad.
I don't know. I think my favourite is definitely tuna, beans, and cheese. You just mix them all together. I think that's the way to do it.
See, something about beans and
tuna.
And beans and potato.
Beans and
something doesn't. I'm just trying to think.
Beans would never go with potato for any. Well, other than maybe if you had hash browns or chips on your breakfast.
That's if it's like fried.
Yeah.
Fried or sort of roasted. But like, yeah, because I think it for me it falls in the same thing as like I'd never put ketchup in a roasted or a mashed or whatever potato, but I would if it was fried. Oh, man, it's weird how inconsistent this. I'm trying to be like, do I have a consistent rule here? And it's just not.
No.
It's purely vibes based food
Yeah.
enjoyment.
I will say I wouldn't call myself a fussy eater. Like I will eat most things, but there are quite a few things that I would just prefer
To not have.
to eat.
Yeah.
But if it's on the dinner, I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
not eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would have called myself a fussy eater before. I don't think I am now. I think I'll try anything within reason.
I mean, I tried the haggis at Epic. Oh, I don't even know which one it was. It was when they were doing the stage with the funny foods.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I, on first impression, thought, you know what? This actually tastes quite nice.
Yeah.
And then once they said what it was, I was like, oh.
Don't know about it now.
So, I don't know. I'm in two minds with that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of foods like that where I think if you gave it to me and I tried it and you didn't tell me what it was, I'd probably be like, yeah, okay. But then as soon as I get the mental image that I've just eaten like a donkey's nut,
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm trying to think if I've tried frogois. I'm not big on pate as it is anyway.
Yeah.
Escargot, smash that. No worries whatsoever.
Yeah, snail's fine.
Yeah, no problem. Kangaroo's lovely actually.
Is it?
Kangaroo's really gamey, quite soft,
Yeah.
similar to a steak but a bit more gamey. Tried smoked whale when I was out in Norway. That was
Bloody hell.
awful. That was not the one.
I tried pigeon once.
Pigeon, see, but that's like with the quail chicken family.
Yeah.
The birds. I think
I was at some like farmers market type thing, or it was like a fair. And this guy was like, "Oh, do you want to try a pigeon hot dog?" I was like,
pigeon hot dog.
or it was like a little pigeon burger or a pigeon like hot
Yeah,
dog.
right, okay.
I think it was pigeon anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only thing I remember from that, other than the fact that they had tractor pulling on. You ever seen tractor pulling?
No, I'm not.
Oh my god, tractor pulling's great.
So what is the demonstration of it?
So it's like a competition.
Okay.
So there's a big trailer that has a weight on it, and
Yeah.
there's wheels at the back, and there's like a skid, like a plow type
Okay.
thing at the front. And as they go down, the weight moves, so it puts more and more pressure on the skid, so it drags in more.
Yeah.
And it's basically you just try and get as far as you can before it locks you up. And these tractors are mad. Like these aren't like Bill's rocked up with his tractor.
Yeah.
These are like
They take it seriously.
we've pimped my tractor.
Yeah,
like
right.
this is some like a high performance tractor. Like so loud. Like no catalytic converters, no nothing. Like there's fire coming out of the exhaust at the top of this tractor. Great fun to watch.
Tractor? No, I've not seen that. The only thing I've seen close to that is like Santa Pod.
Yeah.
For the top fuelers, and they're doing like the quarter mile in under 3 seconds. I'm like, that's
Jesus, that's pretty quick.
And then they got the parachutes that come out as soon as they cross the
Slow 'em
line.
down,
just to
yeah.
slow, and I was like, bloody hell.
Yeah, that's scary.
And you need parachutes for a car.
Scary, yeah. And it's like the slightest thing, and it's just gone dead. Like, yeah, it's a scary thing. Tractor pulling's not that risky.
No, yeah. Not quite that quick.
It's not quite, no. You get them up to maybe 20 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And then the wheels start spinning and there's thrown dirt everywhere.
So you know much about tractors?
No.
No, just...
I was just at this, it was like a steam fair, and there was like this tractor pulling on, and it's great fun. It was just a bunch of stalls and stuff. There was like this lemonade made by some bloke, and it was the best lemonade I've ever had, and I've been chasing that high ever since.
And then never found it again.
No, the closest I got was like, is it Calypso? Those like bottles of that lemon's quite good, but it wasn't the same. No. The thing is, the website for that company's still up, but like it's not been updated in like a solid 15 years. Like maybe they still exist. I don't know. He said something like, "Oh, if you for like 40 quid, they'd ship a crate to me," which sounds ideal.
Yeah.
But I imagine that's gone up.
Well, it's funny you mentioned things like that. I did a pub quiz probably a couple of weeks ago in Hertfordshire, and I knew what day it was on and what time. No website, no phone number. I was like, how in 2025 can a pub not have a website or a phone number?
Yeah.
Got there, it was heaving with people.
I feel like you find that a lot with like
The smaller local pubs?
yeah, like if you've got especially if it's a small town, like not always, but like small town, no one's got anywhere else to go. But yeah, like if they get the rep locally and it passes by word of mouth. But
Like, I can understand not having a website, but not having a phone number.
All it can do is help.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like...
I mean, I don't know how much a landline would be in this day and age. 20 quid a month, max?
Just get a prepaid SIM.
You even could, couldn't you?
Yeah, prepaid SIM and a mobile phone that's just plugged in on the side.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't even need the landline.
I was going to say, how many
They must
people...
have a phone. Like, if somebody dies, they're not going to be just like, can somebody... has anybody got a phone on them?
Yeah,
so we can ring an ambulance, like...
How's the ice treating you?
Yeah, it's good.
It's getting closer to the...
It's just... well, it's more liquid now, but it's still cold.
Do you need some more ice?
No, I'm good. I'm good for now. I'm just... I take it out for too long and then it starts hurting again, so...
I got to admit, because I don't drive regularly, as in on a weekly basis. I might only take the car out once or twice a week.
Yep.
However, the naming to numbering system, excellent. Like M25, and then it's like you then go
off onto an A road.
Off to an A road, and then you've got like, let's just say the A41, and then the A412. I just think it is such a good system.
Yeah.
We don't have anything like that back home. And I just think, someone tells me an A road or an M, I just know instantly where it is.
Yeah. You know what type of road it is roughly.
Yeah.
Although, the further you get out into the country, you do get A roads that are like single lane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a B road.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's called A.
So a B road really should be a country road.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't get B roads around my way.
No, yeah, I mean, they're usually like the little country sort of, that sort of thing. But I don't know what the official like thing is for it, because I feel like a lot of the time you get into those like countryside type things and you're onto, it's just got a name rather than a...
Yeah.
Like a designation. I don't know. But yeah, it's like M, biggest, A, kind of big, B is pretty small.
But no C's.
No, a C road would be like that.
Yeah.
Just that little like trail.
Yeah, I'd like to, in the next few weeks, think about going over to France.
Oh yeah?
Because I've been over to France.
Like a drive or?
Yeah, because I've done France a few times on the Eurostar, flown there.
Yeah.
Never driven. So I'd like to take it over the Eurotunnel, do a couple of days.
Yeah. Did it once with my folks when we had a caravan.
Okay.
That was fun. Drove down to like...
But you do Calais and then further south.
I don't think it was... No, it must have been Calais. And then yeah, we headed south from there, which was really nice. We parked up at this nice little French campsite and just ate baguettes for like 2 weeks solid, you know.
There is something about French bread, especially the baguettes.
Phenomenal.
Just so good.
Yep.
Fresh every morning, nice and cheap, like good texture in the actual bread itself, like a nice sourdough. Yeah.
I think like the great thing about being in like a little village, we've got a little bakery in my town, and it's incredibly cheap. It's baked fresh like every day. Like they'll be up in there at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
You know.
Proper bakers.
Cash only. That sort of, you know, and all the food's phenomenal. It's cheap. So like I do prefer going to like a local shop like that.
I'm with you.
Rather than hitting the supermarket if I can. But like the convenience of just being able to do your entire weekly shop in one go is like...
No, I've got a soft spot for proper bread. I just think like supermarket bread is just shit.
Oh yeah.
It just... No, it's not the one.
It's mad to me that, like, you know, you've got like the sort of the thick, the not thick, or like the medium or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the slicing. But anyone getting anything other than like the toasty thick, I'm like, what?
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Like,
why is that?
Like Warburtons do it. Like it's like toasty, like thick. But it's like you can get medium bread and it always just feels so thin when you're making it into like a sandwich or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks nice.
Sure, it's actually come out pretty well. Oh, right. Here's some cutlery.
Oil splat.
I'll tell you what, it's a nice temperature. It was really warm earlier.
Yeah, it's dropped off to be like bearable now. Oh, that is good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like as well, sometimes with cooking, you just got to keep it easy.
Oh yeah. I will never cook anything that's like super tricky.
Yeah, too complicated.
Yeah, I'm just like you can end up with a good bit of food with like a source of protein, some carbs, get a bit of fat in there. You know, usually, you know, like, I mean, that might also just be me being lazy, which it could be.
Might be.
But like, I don't know, just a nice, well-seasoned bit of chicken, maybe a bit of rice, some veg, and I'm actually happy.
Just sold.
Yeah.
Well, I've recently made a cauliflower cheese, and that took a bit of effort to make a proper cheese sauce.
Yeah.
But it was banging. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to have to do this more often now.
Yeah, a friend of mine's really into like cooking.
Yeah.
And he'll always send pictures. We've got a channel in our Discord that's just for like food pictures, essentially. And he'll always send some stuff in there that just looks phenomenal.
Yeah. Now, there is something about, you know, putting the time in and having a good meal.
Yeah.
And there are other times, like, had a big day at work.
Yeah, I just want some
Do I really want to sit there? I mean, I meal prep a lot when I'm working. So I'll cook one day of the week and just cook, as an example, 5 spaghetti bolognese. I'll just eat it every day. I'm not bothered. So whatever it may be, just cook 5-6 portions, and then I just don't need to cook for the rest of the week. Tell you what, would have helped if I brought some serrated knives. These are as blunt as you could possibly get.
We've got the butter knives for the pork.
There was some thought in the planning.
You knew we needed a knife.
Yeah. There could have been better thought.
Unbelievable. I've just realised there's a whole camera there that just can't closely see. Oh, I've trodden on a peg. Oh, that's fucked. Beautiful. My favourite thing at the minute when cooking any chicken is like tenderising it.
Yeah.
With just the smashing the shit out of it.
See, that's what I did for the chicken in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think thigh, don't tenderise, but breast fillets I do.
Yeah, breast tenderise. I always just lean for breast most of the time anyway.
See, I prefer thigh. But
A lot of
there
people
are
say it's
certain
more
things I think.
flavourful.
You think breast has more flavour?
No, a lot of people say thigh is.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's nice to have a bit of peace and quiet. I think, well, especially living in Sydney, it's just so many years, like living in the CBD, it's just always banging construction, delivery drivers, garbage men, like just everything. And I just feel like now, just kind of out here, literally just
chilling.
You just cannot hear a thing.
Yeah, it's great. Like you can just hear the insects buzzing about and that's it.
That is it.
There's like a road over that way, miles away. And then
I actually thought that road was quite congested, considering how small it was. Why is there so many cars here?
Yeah. I feel like that's another thing you get a lot of in this country, though, is like a bunch of roads that were never intended to have as many cars on them.
Yeah.
And then just because of the amount of buildings that have sprung up around them, you end up with just like a shitload of traffic.
Yeah. Well, I can't get my head around. I've lived here 7 years and I still can't get my head around how it is legal to park both sides of the road as in head to toe. I think it's so dangerous from the outset. Where first off, you have to cross over the lane to reverse in. And then when you're coming out, your nose is literally against ongoing traffic.
Yeah.
And yet somehow England is one of the only countries in the world that will allow it.
Yeah. I've never really thought that much about it. I think the bigger problem is that it's like people don't get penalised much for parking on both ends of the road in like really narrow roads.
Oh yeah, terrible.
So you've got barely enough for a car to get through.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well is that some streets it's not even really the fault of the people who live there because there's just nowhere for their cars to go.
So I'm terrible with tech. Like, as in, if I've got something wrong with my PC, I just have to speak to Ben.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So normally it's always PC repair time when I go to Epic. I'm like, right, something's wrong with the PC.
Yeah,
Let's get it fixed.
This is a good opportunity to get it fixed, yeah.
Because I spoke to, I think it was the admins a couple of Epics ago, and I got them to clone my PC because I bought a new one.
Yeah.
And I wanted it cloned. They were like, yeah, it shouldn't be much of a trouble. I think I was there till about 7 o'clock on the Sunday.
Jesus.
Like, they're all packing up, and my PC is just still
cloning.
I have no idea. Like, even like the C drive, D drive, E drive, I'm like, I don't know what to save in what.
Yeah.
Wherever space, yeah, that'll do.
It's always been like kind of my thing since I was little.
Like, I think you're either into it or you're not.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely with computers. Well, I mean, what do you think about this whole new no RMRs?
I haven't read into it all that much, because isn't this more online CS now we're getting?
Well, we were going to get that anyway, because the RMRs were never going to be LAN, because they had the choice. So even if they kept RMRs, they wouldn't be LAN.
Yeah, they had the choice, and they're like, yeah, well, we're not going to spend the extra money.
Yeah, no, it's just obvious.
Yeah. So what's changed?
As far as I'm aware...
Is it direct? Oh, it's direct invites to the major.
Invites to the major. Which was kind of already the case with the RMR, in which you had to be VRS to qualify to their... So they scrapped the open quals, which meant that's the only pathway. So it's similar in the sense that it's by ranking, but it's just less of a chance now. Because there's not as many teams that can qualify to the major.
There's not the extra qualification stage. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out. I think the RMRs, it feels like, made more sense when the open qual existed, because it's like, okay, you've qualified through this hell online bracket. Can you actually do it on LAN? And it was almost like a bit of a filter. Like I think the problem is that VRS still needs a couple of changes, I think, to facilitate the, like, the top 12 or whatever is fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting teams into VRS is still so hard.
Well, I'm convinced in the current state, the scene in grassroots will just die. Yeah. Like, completely die. Unless, like, changes will come eventually. But already, I mean, B&E, they just put out an announcement yesterday that they're done.
Yeah.
Now that's...
They were exclusively RMR merchants, though, to be fair.
It's true, but they couldn't get on VRS.
Yeah, which doesn't help.
Look at Sticko's team. Like, they're going to Epic Land now, but they've already, like, butchered half the roster because they couldn't get on VRS either.
Yeah, that team was really weird. Like, it's the same thing where it's like putting any team together right now that isn't around an existing core.
Yeah,
is just crazy. Like,
it doesn't work.
If they can figure out a way of onboarding more teams into VRS, I think it would help as well. You know, like all those tournaments, like you've got like United 21 and EU Pro League, and they sort of, the VRS stuff came out and they're just like, yeah, but we can't be asked. Yeah. We're not going to be compliant. Like if there was like you got is it tier 1 and tier 2?
That's it. And then wild
maybe
cards,
they could do with like a less stringent tier 3. Because if these tournaments aren't going to bother complying, and they're like, that's one of the only real tier 3 tournaments that we sort of have is United 21 and EU.
Well, we've already spoken to like a few tournament organisers, and I think they're in the premise that, like, as an example, you want to run let's say you want to run a tier 1 event, but as a tier 2 organiser, right? Someone that doesn't have the big budgets. You've got to plan your dates a year in advance at minimum. Now, these organisers have to go to their sponsors, whoever they're backed by, and say, right, we need all this, let's say, 300 grand to run a tournament, but we're not running it in a year. A lot of them are going to sit there and say, well, we're not seeing the return. Yeah. Because it's not instant like an online tournament that you can just run. So I think what we'll find is a lot of the smaller organisers just won't run LANs because they just can't fit that 1 year period. So they'll stick to like the smaller local division LANs or just not and just run online.
It is a real long time, that, and like it doesn't help when you've got major tournaments not sticking to the rules schedule wise. Like you could just have like I think it happened with the Starladder one, right? Like they just come in and they're like, we're blowing out this entire weekend because we need to run a qualifier. And so you could have planned your tournament years in advance, but because the major hasn't been announced in time, then you're hosed anyway. Yeah. Which defeats the point. yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough.
Even the org backing, like Endpoint's out,
Yep.
alternate attacks are out. You've got the old Movistar guys, Iberian Soul, they've been unorged for about 4 or 5 months.
Yep.
And they're top 50, 60 odd in the world? Like, that's a fairly high position to be unorged.
Yep.
B&E's broken, Sicko's team's basically folded. They're rebuilding. Who else is there that's... Well, I mean, even Artist and that were unorged for a very long time.
They were unorged for ages, and I don't even think they were asking for too much from orgs, but like they just couldn't get anything, which is just mad because I mean, even if you were just a domestic org, like they're winning everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Winning everything domestically. They had VRS ranking. I don't know if they still do.
But even look at that team that's going to Epic, Bird from Sky's team. Yeah. Like, I think they've been a team for about 6 months, and they've only just got on VRS.
Yeah.
They're not orged. And Bird from Sky, I mean, he used to be, top 30, like, in terms of a top 30 team, in-game leading, and he hasn't been on an org for ages. I think it's just, we're in a period now where a lot of teams are just going to find that unorged is just the future, because there's just not the org support.
It's kind of wild, because, like, to go from the whole thing where like Valve's whole ethos around coaching for a time was like, we just want it to be like, 5 guys can play
the open circuit
and show up, and then the current way VRS is working, it's going to choke out that entire section.
I mean, I spoke to a few of the teams because I was out in Finland for the Alyssa LAN.
Yeah.
And one of the players I spoke to was kind of telling me, we have been wanting to make player changes, but we can't because of VRS.
Yeah.
And even the player that was apparently going to get kicked, or they wanted to get kicked, knew about it, but as a team, just got to push through.
You can't, yeah.
And I was like, that is insane.
That's mad, yeah.
For that to legitimately be a factor to think, look, if we're going to kick this player, we have to maybe pick up this player to create the core, or we can't kick a core member. And it's just like, why are we in a position where players and teams are being punished to make roster changes to improve the team?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
that
not
just
great.
Doesn't seem logical to me. And then I was chatting with another team at that LAN, because Glitched Masters in Yongchiping was about 3 weeks' time, and it was open. It wasn't a BYOC. They gave you PCs, but it was open, like Epic LAN, open to play. And a few of them were saying, we are 50-50 on whether we want to play, because if we go and let's say it's not a great run, we are just going to lose so many points.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so now what? We're sitting here thinking, do I want to go to a LAN because of the consequences of doing poorly? The whole point of LAN is the best competition.
Yep.
And the punishment of doing poorly for a team that's highly ranked on VRS, it's just going to stop teams coming. And I don't know. I can't get behind the system just at all.
It's like back in the day when I can't remember which tournaments it was, but I remember like there were like it might have been in the days when we were doing like sort of Swiss style stuff.
Yeah.
And like there were certain points in certain tournaments where it's like, if this team takes a tactical L here, they get a much easier opponent in the next.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the same sort of like, why would you don't want teams not wanting to play the LAN just in case they lose and lose their VRS standings, which is, kind of shit.
Yeah, it's a really strange period, and I don't know, I just kind of get the feel, especially from the community. It's like everyone at Tier 1 is like laughing and celebrating, because you should, like it's really good up there.
Yeah.
And I feel that there's a lot of people are naive to like the Tier 2 and Tier 3 scene. It's like, like it will sort itself out. It's like, well, it won't.
It won't.
Like, people need to make a statement. Players need to speak up. And I think there's been a few, like Snappy's always been very vocal on NIP, and he even has now on VRS. I mean, look, he's quite lucky that an open qualifier into a closed qualifier into an international LAN has pushed his team up highly. But I actually think Valve needs to come in and say, we need a certain amount, like a quota, certain amount of open qualifiers per Tier 1 event. There just aren't open qualifiers.
Yeah.
And I do get it, the cheaters, the logistics, we all know what open qualifiers
tough to run,
have.
yeah.
However, if NIP, let's just say they got knocked out in the opens by a round of 128, but they wouldn't be anywhere near, they'd still be playing CCT play-ins.
Yeah.
So it's only the fact that they've had a run in an open qualifier that's then pushed them on. It just seems insane that we just don't have any sort of direct pathways other than VRS, and I don't know.
I think an open qualifier quota would help that a lot.
Especially in the Tier 2 tournaments. Like I look at, what's VRS in Tier 2? Compass, CCT, European Pro League, but maybe Div 1? I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I'm not sure, because I know they've got 2 divisions.
They've got 2, yeah. Whenever Thunderpick put on stuff, that's VRS,
they've
right?
got them, and then you've got like the odd Blast quals.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is at the moment.
Fisher?
Yeah, they probably are. Yeah. So, like, there's enough around, but none of them are running open qualifiers. The only one that did was that Conquest of Prague event that I did like a month ago. The Tip Sport. Because those guys are really big in the Czech scene. Like, they've always, for years and years, they've always, I mean, like Sampy, Eklot, Sinners, those boys have always played in them. And they ran open qualifiers in which Navi Junior was an open qualifier team.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know now how much they've been able to accelerate, but at the time, their VRS was really poor.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a legitimate top-end Tier 2 team that has to go through open quals because they're not on VRS. And there's probably quite a few what I would call decent teams, like brand new rosters that just are good, but are like 150th, 190th on VRS. I mean, even Artisan team, like they couldn't have been high on VRS when they played in the LAN finals. Like, I'm sure they've done a lot better now because they've played a few HLTV games.
Yeah, I think they dropped down a bit, I think.
Because they're just not playing on HLTV enough.
Yeah.
But they should be roughly around the top 100.
Yeah.
Like, as a marker. But they probably were like 150, 200 going into that LAN. Or maybe even to the first game of UKRC playoffs.
Yeah, because
like before they...
Yeah. It's so... Like, anything below, it feels like 60 is so tumultuous with the standings.
And fair play to HLTV for putting in their Valve ranking that gets updated literally... It's not even daily, it's updated through the day.
Instantly, yeah.
Because the GitHub's just a joke.
It's mental that, like, they put it together and they're like, yeah, we're going to do a ranking. And, like, having it on GitHub is not great to begin with. But then they've basically gone... okay, HLTV is going to manage this now. And it's like, they're an external platform.
Yeah, why should they?
Love HLTV, but like, they're an external platform and their interests aren't directly aligned with Valve's on that, you know? Like,
and I had it when I was prepping for, I think it was for Glitched, because it was like a 32-team LAN, and I was trying to prep for all the pro teams. What I was finding is you'd have like a previous core on VRS, but then they're a new team now with different players, and they're also on VRS.
Yeah, they're double, So
they're doubled up. So then, if you're on a broadcast, let's say you're talking about, I don't know, let's use Ecstatic, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're a poor example because they're quite high up. Let's say Wild Lotus, like Bird from Sky's team, and they're 160 on VRS. Well, they're not really 160. Like, it says they are, but because there's duplicates on the ones higher, they're really 158.
Yeah.
And it's like, how have we got a ranking where we've got duplicates?
And when sometimes you'll have like players who are on one VRS ranked team going to another, like playing for another, like I'm sure that happened with Eklot in one of the tournaments that me and Tim casted recently. There was a player who was on a higher ranked VRS team and he was just standing in. It was Mangus, I think it was.
Yeah, okay.
Before he got picked up and then dropped again.
Yeah.
And he was on like some other team, I'm pretty sure. Dropped down into that team, played a bit, then joined them. But then it's like, what's happening with the old roster? Because like, then what happens if he's like, oh well, I'll go with them boys to LAN.
Yeah.
Still earning more VRS.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't even like. I realise there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, but I don't even really understand how Epic is only top 4 on HLTV. Like, how does Fragadelphia have full round of 16s? Like, I know the prize pool's bigger, and I realise they put on more events in the year. But surely in a position where VRS is so vital for the local scenes, why is all of the playoffs not on HLTV? Like, maybe that's a stretch, maybe that's pushing it too far, but you can't get VRS unless your game's on HLTV. So how are we helping out the local scenes by making Epic Land top 4?
It does feel like there's a slight like stigma on it for it being UKCS or something. Because I
could
agree,
be. Yeah.
it feels ridiculous that we're only getting like top 4 at Epic on HLTV when there's some, like, you get to playoffs at an Epic. There's some decent games.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
like
there
it's
is,
not
yeah,
like I've and you, to be fair as well, like, what with it being a on-site LAN. Well, maybe not, but I think you can be more confident that they're not going to be like rigged or fixed or that sort of thing.
I mean, I even look and think, depending on if there's an upset in the upper bracket, you could get a legitimate 3rd, 4th place.
Yeah.
In which a team is just being punished because they've just lost because someone got upset from the upper bracket, and now you're playing that game as an underdog, and now you're just dropping in VRS. Whereas if it was top 6, top 8, you'd then get your points before you get that loss. And I do appreciate the international teams flying out. I think it shows, well, first off, how important VRS is, but also, you know, that they don't mind going to London or going to England and playing a LAN. But if there's 6 international teams coming and only 4 are going HLTV...
There has to be more this LAN. Like, there's no way HLTV look at, like...
Well...
I mean... Because even if they're backing, like, their own ranking, right? Like, if they've got... Like, ignoring the Valve one... If you're backing your own ranking... And they're like, well, there's a bunch of teams in our top 100 here or whatever, but we're only going to show 4 games. There's no, like, if they do, it'd be crazy work.
I think it will happen. I don't think it will be bigger than top 4, just because of what I've seen in the past.
Yeah.
And it's Summer LAN, so the prize pool is going to be slightly less than October LAN. I mean, it would certainly be a massive hindrance. I think it needs to be at a minimum top 8 for this LAN, with how many international teams are coming. But then the one there is, well, hang on a second. If we're getting more HLTV games because international teams are coming, why? Like, as in...
Yeah, why wasn't...
We've had 40 teams come to Epic LAN for the last 5 years. Why are we not getting it then, but we're getting it now?
Just because there's bigger names.
You know, and they're not even big names. I mean, you've got Preezy, you've got... Inner Circle, you've got 9. You know, they're all average. Like, there's no NIP complexity that they inquired about for the last Epic. So it's not as if we've even got like a tier 1.5 high-end tier 2 team coming. So I think it would just be bollocks if we then get a massive more amount of HLTV games.
It'd have to be, because like if they're using prize money as a metric, that hasn't changed.
No. So, it'd probably be, it'll be less than last LAN.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad. Like, I was looking into it recently, like, back when we didn't, like, even when the UK Masters was a thing, and that was 25 grand, the prize pool. Yeah. We only got a couple of international teams, and none of them were...
I was going to say, the only one I remember from that event was, like... Was it, like, the It's My... Fanta, what was his name? It was like the Space Jam boys. I can't think what the org was at the time that they played under. Like Ven Vicious and...
There was Fnatic Academy were there.
Okay.
But that was just because Eccles was in that team, I think.
Yeah, I remember that one. No, I can't remember. It was definitely like a CIS team. It was like... I'm sure his name was It's My, Fanta Rocker, and Ven Vicious. Those boys went... I'm sure they got like a top 4. It was either I-65 or the UK Masters. It was one of the ones that had the bigger prize pool.
Yeah, because it was like a team full of Polish players that came to that as well, and like that sort of thing. But like I'd say we're probably getting better players now.
Oh, yeah.
And the prize pool is nowhere near, which just goes to show how much importance VRS lands.
Yeah.
Do you want to stick? I've got 2 more burgers.
Yeah, cook the burgers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. I'm just hoping that, like, regardless, because the thing is as well, Valve might come in like a year from now and be like, yeah, we need to make some serious changes to this. Because, like, I think they will make changes eventually. It's just whether they wait too long, you know?
Well, I mean,
because Valve love just sitting back and waiting.
Well, it's funny because they do. I mean, I've been casting that Iberian Soul team quite a bit recently, and to be fair, their results are actually okay. I actually think they're dog shit. I think they're fucking terrible. However, I do look at them and say those guys used to play at a major. Like those guys have played at a tier 1 level, and yet if they're sitting there struggling to get an org, and we've got this whole VRS, like it just there does need to just be more discussion. And there needs to be more done.
It does feel like we're at the point where Valve should appoint like a spokesperson type person, or at least have some sort of system in place that's native to either the game or like to Valve for the ranking stuff. Because like HLTV's already built, it's great, it exists, and they're doing a great job. But like, I feel like Valve need to take some ownership of that, right? Because like GitHub's great, whatever. Like that's clearly one of the 3 devs that are working on it. They've been like, we can feasibly get this done and maintain it. I just don't think it's enough, really. Like, I
mean, I even hear, like, I've seen it a couple of times, Nero from HLTV. Like, I've seen a couple of his tweets sort of about how the major should be the best teams.
Yeah.
It should be the 30 best teams in the world. And I'm like, so what? We're just going to get in... Like, if anyone in the UK watches darts, I mean, darts is massive here. You've got, like, the Premier League, same players.
Yeah.
Week in, week out. And it's so boring. Because you see the same faces, the same matchups. And it's like, no, we want the national championships where you get players in from other countries. And I get the feel, especially at the tier 1 level, it's going to just... And it already has happened a bit. But it's going to be so stale because it's just the same teams and the same matchups every tier 1 tournament. I mean, all you need to do is look at all the IEMs, all the Blast events so far this year, and just look at the teams that are in there via VRS and say how many of those are legitimately tier 2 teams. There's like 1 max.
Yeah.
Because you just can't, because you get yourself, and I think that's maybe one of the biggest problems, is that at tier 1, all you need to do is win 1 game.
Yeah.
Like, Complexity had it when they were really struggling at the start of the year. They went to one of the PGL events, and then it was like them and the Zaz team of Imperial Female that both just had so many losses. And yet, as soon as Complexity won, it was like 5 places up. I'm like, well, hang on a second. This is a Swiss O2 game of 2 teams that are really struggling, and yet you've just gone from 25th to 20th because you've won a game where both teams are shit.
Yeah.
And it's just, and I think that's the biggest issue, is that you just have no tier 2 representation in tier 1 tournaments anymore. And that comes because there's no open qualifiers. I mean,
also the fact that both, like all the tier 1 organisers, we haven't got to a point where there's overlap in events.
No.
Like that's what we needed.
Yeah.
I think from both health of the scene in terms of like when this open circuit came about, both for the health of the circuit for the teams, because you get more teams dragged up to better tournaments, but also like the talent rotation and stuff as well. Because like again, like similar to the teams, like if you're tier 1 talent, you're loving it because you got an event every weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, you've even seen some of them as well where it's like some of the tier 1 talent have been doing like a remote thing. For like a tier 1 tournament, which is mad. Like one of the PGL events, Harry and Hugo were remote.
Yeah.
And I think Anderson, it would have been like Zeus at the time.
Yeah.
Were remote as well. And it's like, I don't know, why are we hamstringing the broadcast like that? But again, because there's no overlap, like those teams will go to every single event.
Yeah.
Because they've got the opportunity to, they need the points. We need to have an event where it's literally just dead overlap, and then you've got half the teams will go to one event, half the teams will go to another one, and then tier 2 can come up and fill in.
Well, I think that's happened a bit at the PGL. Like you've had a couple of the tier 1 orgs just say we're not going.
Yeah.
But I feel like Katowice and Cologne, like the flagship products. First off, Katowice used to have the Polish pathway, so you would always have an AGO, a Wisla Krakow, an Illumina, Anonymo. One of those teams would always make it through the Polish Championships. And then Cologne would always have Meisterschaft.
Yeah.
So you would either have big, but mainly towards the end they were on like invited because of ASL World Ranking or whatever. You'd have Sprout, you'd have alternate attacks. Bro, those alternate attacks guys, that was like their one chance. Every year was Cologne.
Yeah.
That's it. And I think it was kind of the same, like with this script that I'm working on now with Asian CS, which is like the minors, especially when we had minors before RMRs, there would be teams at the Asia RMR, or the Asia minor, I should say, that would be their only international LAN of the entire year.
Yep.
Now that it's RMR, or now that we don't even have that, like I don't know how much you watched of Asia RMRs back in the day, but I remember watching the Face at London one in 2018, where the Japanese squad, Absolute Scars, they beat Renegades and promoted themselves into the playoffs. And it was like, this is a Japanese squad that, like, no one's even heard of Japanese CS, and yet they were able to beat JKS and Azza and those boys in a legitimate game. So, I mean, I look at some of those squads and I just think now, there's just no chance.
They wouldn't have a way in.
There's just no hope. To even get to the minor, I would think for most teams would be an achievement in itself. Before you're even thinking about going to the major. I see Harry's done a lot better on the second time around.
Second time with...
But will he burn himself again?
Ooh.
Like, it's very easy to criticise and to be negative about it when you don't have answers. Like, it is a cop-out. However, why should we have the answers? We're not Valve. We're not
It's
the
not
ones,
our scene, yeah.
We're not the ones that are running the product. Like, it's up to us to make awareness out of it and to get something going. But I don't think it's on us to come up with a solution.
No, I don't necessarily think so. I mean, it'd be nice.
It would, yeah, certainly would be. And look, there are people out there that are more suited for certain things like this. I mean, you look at Messioso with how he's explaining the VRS to some of the teams and the managers, and you can tell that certain people are really locked in on how the system actually works.
I hope Cole are giving him the bag, because like his knowledge and understanding of the VRS and stuff is really impressive.
I think it's important for any org.
I think
now.
any manager
You
worth
can't
their salt
just-
should be. It's so much hotter on one side of the fucking.
You can't just be in a position where a manager's like, right, we're scrimming at this time and we're playing an official. You actually do need to just properly know.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to be studying like every possibility to get VRS. Like, it was crazy to me how late some of the teams picked up on the fact that like Epic was VRS. Like, you had both Nip and Cole getting on the waiting list. Well, it's like it's too late, lads. Like,
it's funny you say that, because not that we've run it for a while, but when Ryan and I were doing Tier 2 Talk, we had Regin on one episode, and we were talking, like, this was early VRS, we were talking about Epic LAN, and he made this point that it was up to the TO to publicly be out there to notify all the teams that they're running VRS. I was like, no, it's up to the managers of the team. It's up to the teams itself to go out there, do your research, do your homework. What is VRS? What isn't? We shouldn't be doing your work for you.
What's the point of a fucking organisation if you're not going to be looking at...
And he was full serious about it as well.
Yeah, that's cooked.
And I thought, oh, bloody hell. That did make me laugh. I did see Nilo back as well.
Yeah, who was he playing with before? Was it Metasport?
Yeah, he was on Metasport. See, they've had another rough one, because...
Yeah, I had them as a 0-3. One of the safest picks of my life. Oh, wait, did I? No, I didn't.
You didn't put them 0-3?
I put them as going out.
Yeah.
But I didn't put them as 0-3. I was like, they'll steal a map somewhere. I didn't realise quite how diabolically bad they'd been.
They looked really rough.
Yeah.
They looked really, really poor. Well, the thing is, right, because I think at the end of last year, when Jay and I, we did our little talk show of like the end of year awards, we put them as like the worst run org, like managed org or something. And there was a bit of stick towards it, but I was like, well, I'm being funny. Like, they did get rid of SUSP and get rid of ZTR, and just like the timing of it all. And then now you've made it to a major.
Yeah.
Adam B's like, my contract's running out, so I want to get out of here. And then you've got Hampus that got kicked, who's the IGL. And I think Lumi is just a very average AWPer.
Yeah, I haven't ever seen him play and been like I'm like, this is a guy who's open. Like, you know, when you look at Orpa sometimes you're like, you're just doing it because somebody needs to do it. Like,
a bit like a Giacchino situation.
Yeah,
so just a bit average, but
bro's
okay.
not going to make it. Like,
I actually think that there's some decent Orpas in Sweden. Like, you got Draken, you got Era. I'd rate both of them higher than him. And even when Giacchino was on the team. But I just kind of feel like now, it's like, well, you've lost Adam B, you've lost Hampus. What are you even building around there? And I feel like for a team that's just made the major, you should really be trying to ramp for the next major. And I just don't see that happening at all.
No. Yeah, it's a weird team.
I mean, I'd like to even see whether Artist and that, like, where they're going to place at this next epic. Because surely they can't win it.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think so.
Well, I don't know. I mean...
But I rate the addition of Rez.
Because he was IGLing, wasn't he? He was out on K10 for a bit.
Yeah, but like he was always solid as a individual, from what I remember anyway. And I think, to be fair, like I don't think it'll hurt having his. Like, I don't think you're going to get a two cooks in the kitchen with that team. I feel like Tom's still very much going to be top dog, but then you've just got that extra bit of whatever going on, which it helps if you're, you know, split across the bomb sites and whatever.
Yeah.
Especially because he's back on AWP. Like, AWP IGL is a dying breed. Like, Fallen's giving it up.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't. Especially with, like, CS2's sort of, it's already harder in whatever way people are saying. Like, I mean, I don't AWP that much. Definitely feels different from Go. But then you've got just the fact that the economy's shit and you're investing so much money in giving somebody an AWP. Like, I forgot where I'm going with this. But like freeing him up.
Yeah.
And not having necessarily like 100% of the burden on him. I mean, Matas does a lot of secondary calling as well, to be fair.
He's been around for such a long time, especially him and Tom. He's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, even and Giraffe until
I was gonna say,
just after that last
recently.
UCO. Yeah.
So where's he now? Because I saw he was playing with Smoother for a bit, no? Did he not?
He played, yeah. He played with them for a bit. The Alaska thing had run its course, and so he was just like, I'm going to have to jump here, see if I can find something, and if not,
just give up.
Straight to bed, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I think he's come on a lot. I mean, just in general, but like the last couple of years.
Well,
like
I remember his game, what was it, against Fnatic at the RMR?
Yeah.
On the Vertigo, and he was just frying.
Yeah, he's really sick.
And if MMS was just not a pod, then they would have won that game, and they would have beaten Fnatic.
Yeah, Callum's really good. He's good at. He's one of those people that's good at all FPS games, I think, though, as well. I was playing some Hell Let Loose with him a while back, and he was just frying again. Like, it was just unbelievable. He was like, "Oh yeah, I finished with like 50 something kills," and like to be fair, like we would all high fragging games in Hell Let Loose. Mate, you go into a game like Hell Let Loose when you spend like hours in CS aim training, you're gonna fry. But like, yeah, he was on some shit. It was crazy. There's only a couple of people I've ever like played games with that are like that multi-talented. Like, I mean, well, it's all FPS games, but like, I've got a mate called Josh who any FPS game, like he plays like CS was the main thing. I teamed with him for a few years. But like you stick him on DayZ, stick him on Hell Let Loose, Rise and Storm 2, doesn't matter, he's frying.
Yeah.
It's crazy work. Just mental. Like, just like, oh, yeah, Josh at the top of the scoreboard again. Like,
yeah, another classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always players like that. And even Jamie G.
Yeah.
What happened to that guy?
I thought he was coming back. Well, he had a whole surgery thing.
That's right,
with
his hand or his arm or...
But I heard a rumour that he was coming back.
And then he just...
And then he didn't.
Well, because from my understanding, he was meant to go to OG Academy.
Yeah.
And his clips in the announcement video were him, and then they changed it in the kill feed to Shaik. From my understanding, that's what happened.
That's crazy.
Because he was meant to be there when the team launched. and then obviously the surgery or whatever, and then they had to bring in... It was either Awaken or Shrike at the time. I can't remember which one was first. And then they just replaced the name in the kill feed.
That's mad.
So that might be one of those bullshittery, completely false. However, I do believe I'm on the money with that one.
That's so funny. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Thing is, who's going to give us a real answer there?
Well,
because is there
gonna have
any
to ask
truth?
Jamie G. Is
Well,
this you?
yeah, these clips, yeah, might have to be.
Look at the names in the other kill feed. It's like, bro, why is Shike at an epic land? Like, why is he farming up?
What other good like land memories do I have? I do remember I-68.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Terrible LAN. I was at that LAN.
Yeah. That was with like the online servers and...
It was with when we were there for 12 plus hours on the first day and played like one best of one.
Yeah, just terrible. I remember, I think I was like behind the Adam, Smear, Thomas team. And then like Smear and Thomas were like packing up. I was like, what's going on? They're like, oh, they're just moving to the other side of the LAN hole. I was like, okay. So that makes sense. And then the other good memory I had, because I think I had a wedding or something on. So I drove up, I believe on the Friday.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Thursday, drove down and then like drove up again the day after. And I remember watching, it was like Seth, maybe Alkin, and what's his name that used to coach UMX? Keto.
Yeah.
Right, they were playing versus like the Adam JC Mefu
I-68?
I-68, yeah. It was like map 3, overpass, like 12-3 half for the Seth team. And it must have been about 1 a.m. It was late in the evening, lower bracket game I think it was. And I just remember like seeing Keto just like picking up the pints, like he just wouldn't stop. And like the whole team was doing it. And I was like, oh boy, this is going to end poorly. Like they were all smashed by that point. And it was just round by round. It was like 12-3, 12-4, 12-5. And then it got to like 12-12 and I'm just looking and it's just silence. I'm like, this is over. This is over. And then they ended up losing the game. It was a massive comeback by Adam's team. But
oh, that's so rough.
Yeah, no, I remember that one moment from my 68.
That tournament was so cursed.
Well, if I remember correctly, Shuby was there and he was playing with like Regan.
Temperate.
Yeah. And I was chatting to him because obviously he was like, oh, like the whole fasting thing. He was like, we have no idea what times our games are.
Yeah.
And I was like, mate, this is just awful.
Yeah.
Like as a player, especially someone that's like waiting to eat and drink throughout the day and you just don't know what time you have to leave and be back and you're just like sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really bad. Apparently they'd ordered some servers for that event and they just didn't show up.
Right.
And so they had to run it on older computers that just weren't up to it.
Yeah, okay. So that was the issue.
Yeah, which is rough. I think there was some fuck up from the I-Series end, like management end, apparently. I can't remember what it was because I remember speaking to Blanks about it. But it was just,
Problem is, it's just always excuses. Like, I think you have to always, for any line, give a benefit of the doubt, right? But I actually do think, in this day and age, the excuse for like, it's day one. I'm like, well, it is 2025.
Yeah.
And you have run lands for you. Like, I know that there's always things that are out of your control. Like, last land, Geo came over because there was something wrong with the power. It was like mid-pug. And he was like, you got to turn your PCs off. I'm like, well, you can fuck off, pal. Like, mate, this is minus 25 ELO if I turn the PC off. However, I get it. Like, there are certain things that are...
That was the one when the lane kept tripping, right?
Yeah. So I get it. But I do think this whole, like, excuse, especially in CS, of, like, any time there's a new LAN tournament, and it's like, it's day one, like, we're going to have issues. Like, why?
How many?
Epic doesn't really have issues.
No.
Like, very rarely. The only time we had it was when, I remember we were playing in, like, I don't know if the internet went out or the power or what, but, like, a few times you had to, like, go outside and then come back in.
There were issues at the Wolverhampton LAN because... with the networking because the setup was just fucked and they kept saying that they were going to send like one of their guys over and they didn't. So one of the Epic guys was like, we're just shutting off the Holiday Inn's internet.
Yeah.
And that fixed it. And then, there's the power issue, which is like the transformer was just slowly getting overloaded and tripped. But they fixed that within, I think, an hour of it showing up, which is pretty good. Yeah, I agree. And I like having a LAN as bad as like the I-68 one.
Oh, well, we
was like, I mean, like even when the first CS2 LAN happened for Epic, it went smoother than that. Like,
I mean, I watched I-68, but I played at I-69. And I remember we had a game where we had to play a DC or whatever, and asking for the match medic, and the admins weren't responding. So I went over. I don't think I went. I think Ryan went over to the admin desk, and the admins were like, "We don't know how to round restore." I'm like, well, and I get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they are volunteers.
Yeah. But...
However, if you're adminning a LAN, how can you not know what a RAM restore is in the Counter-Strike? And look, they probably were from other games. Do you know what I mean? They might be from Overwatch, or they might be from Valorant, whatever. But I don't know. Maybe it's just complaining. But there is. I always think there's a certain level. Not knowing how to RAM
restore is mental. Like,
I mean, we had it in UKIC in our best of 3 that we played for the playoffs.
Yeah.
We had something where my game just kept crashing. My game never crashes. It was like a complete one-off. I quit the game, got back in the server, it happened again, turned the PC off, and it came back and it was fine. But we went into a round, and we asked for, like, as soon as I DC'd from spawn, and they asked for, like, stop, not live instantly. And anyway, this team, like the team that we were playing, they were like disputing it, like, oh, that's not how like round restore works. We're like, well, it does. Like, we've called not live, whatever. And then like the admins weren't able to do it and whatever. And I just think there is a bit where sometimes you go, oh, whatever, just play on. Like, not everything is fixable.
Yeah.
There are certain things that do just happen with anything in tech.
Yeah.
And you just have to shut up and...
Do you remember that one tournament where the server... This was years ago.
Okay.
The server crashed that badly that the RAM restores were fucked as well. But they still had the log. And so the players had to literally reproduce...
The round.
Well,
I don't remember that. But I do remember when we had the power outages, we were playing like Bez, Reese and Shuby, playing them on Nuke at one of those LANs, and we had to recreate, I think, the pistol. I think, well, I actually don't know. I think it was a 5v3 in like the first 15 seconds. And then when we did it again, Shuby was like, just go outside, give you 2 kills, and then we'll play the round. As in from 5v3. I think that's the only time I've been in a situation where we've had to recreate something.
I remember hearing about that. That was mad. Like, that was at like a tier 1 event, I'm pretty sure. Which is wild. Like,
I mean, I remember like so obviously the UK LANs are very different to the Aussie LANs.
Yeah.
So first off, we don't have BYOC. Like, BYOC is just not a thing.
So you show up and there's a bunch of computers already there?
Net cafes.
Oh, okay.
So I would say the way that it used to work over there, I mean, this is obviously talking quite a few years ago now, and it's probably still the same. Well, the scene's dead now, but the LANs back then used to be basically city-based. So you'd have your Sydney LANs, you'd have your Melbourne LANs, your Brisbane LANs, your Perth LANs, and you wouldn't really go out because it's just too far and too expensive. So we used to do these Sydney LANs that would be like 8 teams, 16 would be really restricted, normally 8 teams. We'd struggle to get 8 teams in Sydney. And it's like, I realised that we're not bringing in Melbourne players or Brisbane players, but 8 teams. I mean, it's not a lot of players, and you'd struggle to get 8. And funny enough, MC, who does the observing now for all the tier 1 events, he used to be quite good. So he used to compete at the Sydney LANs. He won quite a few of them, actually. I remember watching him. And it was just a completely different culture. So our group stages used to be, if we would have, let's say the 16 would be like 4 groups of 4, round robin best of 1.
Yeah.
If you get group to groups, no lower bracket, no inters.
Jesus.
And there was I think they were called masterminds at the time, and they'd like flown a couple of players from across the country. They all came in jerseys, and they literally lost their first 2 opening best of 1s. And that's it. It's like on your bike. And I did think about it, and I get, because we used to have to change PCs, as in, players would sit down and then they'd play their game, and then they would come off and someone else would go on.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously so many PCs that were available. And I just thought, so different to how we've got it in England.
Do you remember the Grosvenor lands?
Yeah, I worked Cardiff, and I worked
you did.
Reading, I think it was.
I was at both on the first season. I was at both of those.
Yeah.
I did Reading with my actual team.
Okay.
We'd proper prep. We were ready for it. We were playing in Maine at the time, and they only used previous Epic results for seeding.
Okay.
So we got put against Fierce, who
Oh,
went on. I'm pretty sure went on to win the
Astro,
the entire thing. I'm pretty sure, or they went deep. And it was like a nightmare scenario as well, because it was like, I got there the night before. I was there pretty early. I was like, get a nice bit of kip in, get a text in the group chat. 2 players were flying over from Northern Ireland. It's like, yeah, plane's been delayed.
Oh, no.
It's like, right, okay, that's fine. They were just sat on the tarmac. And then I got another text. It was like, yeah, we're not going to make our train. So I had to drive from Reading to Gatwick and back.
Yeah, bloody hell.
At midnight.
Yeah.
I didn't get to sleep till 3, and I had to get up at 7 to move the car because I was parked illegally because my parking spot gone. So I'd had 3 hours sleep, banging headache. I was like, I just need a nice opening. Just give us a chill opening game. It's best of 3 against Fierce right now, and it's okay, brilliant.
See, I can't remember whether it was Cardiff or Reading, but it was the one that Rory Rogue was at. That was doing the casting. He's not. He comes to Epic from time to time now. I don't remember. It was definitely one of the two. And I remember because I'm a good sleeper. I never have trouble sleeping. I sleep on the tube, sleep on flights, no problem. This, for whatever reason, was one of the Grosvenor events, and me and Rory were sharing a hotel. Mate, I just could not sleep.
No.
I actually reckon I didn't sleep. It was like my eyes were closed and I'm just awake. And I remember getting up, because we'd always get there early. It'd be a 5 a.m. start, 6 a.m. start, because obviously the casters used to sit there and we would unpack the van, set all the PCs up. Can't remember what his name was, whether it was Graham, might have that wrong. The guy that worked at Grosvenor, he helped us. So he helped up set up, and then you had John that would normally help as well. But it was kind of your 2 casters, John and this other guy at Grosvenor's, and we would just, the 4 of us, you'd all sort of set up and get everything ready. And I just remember just being so fried, that LAN. I just can't recall anything from the LAN itself. Just no sleep, nothing. But those I thought were really good for the circuit, really good for the scene at the time.
I think, there were a couple of issues with them, but on the whole, I think they were...
Because it was cheap. It was like 20 quid
you
to sign up. It wasn't a lot of money.
Rock up and play as well, because they'd bought all the computers. It was a bit weird though, because they'd changed every qualifier. It seemed had a different format. The Reading. I don't quite remember that. The Reading one was best of 3 GSL. So we were done by 11, and we just went drinking. And I was just fuck this. But then the Cardiff one I went to was best of 1s, and it was. And I'm pretty sure it was. I think we either won 1 and lost 1. Or it was double a lim, but it was best of 1s the whole way through. I was just going as a mix. It was just a bit of fun. But again, I was home by midday. So, it was a bit weird, just the format changing so much.
I think the only memory that I have from Cardiff was that Deos turned up.
Yeah.
The French player. I was like, why is he here? What is he doing in Cardiff?
Loves it.
He was a massive... I don't think he was involved in the UK scene, but he was a massive face at grind. He always had really high elo back then.
Yeah.
And I remember him just turning up to Grosvenor's LAN. I was like,
what is going on here?
Yeah, no, that was quite funny. We've had a few international players turn up to Epics over the years.
I've had a few, yeah.
I don't know if you'll like me saying this, but I remember Epic 39 at Wolves.
Yeah.
TVS. The Swedish Orpa. He was playing with Swaggy's lot with Oscar and
I remember,
Devrin. And I remember it must have either been, it must have been the Sunday morning or the Saturday evening after they'd been knocked out. The team was done. And TVS, he was just standing in, and I think he was playing with Enst.
Yeah.
And he was playing some Liquipedia tournament, and it was a final.
Yeah.
Right? And every time he died, he'd just take his headphones off and he'd just be talking to me and Swaggy. And like, obviously, I'm like entertaining in this conversation. I'm like, I don't think it was a HLTV game, but I'm like, there's actual prize money
on the line.
On the line. This is actually a final on Wikipedia. And I was just like, is this how it is? Is this how it is?
That's mad. Yeah,
it was quite funny.
I remember he was frying in one of the games that they played as well. Like, because we casted him, I think it was on Vertigo, and he just dropped like 39 kills or something ridiculous.
I remember because we played Royals that LAN, and we were up quite a bit versus them. And mate, TVS just locked the fuck in.
Yeah.
And I just remember like going out of that official, and I was like, we've definitely lost because we are the much weaker team. But he was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just could not he was B AWPing quite a lot, and we were just trying to hit him with so much util, and no matter what we did, smoke him off, flash him off, molly him back, he just kept getting 2, kept getting 3. I just couldn't stop him. He is a monster player because he went over to Bravado, I think, recently. I don't even know if he's still playing.
No idea actually. I don't know. I haven't
heard from him in a little while.
No, me neither. Yeah, because he did. He went over to Bravado, which is it's really weird. International like talent pop into. Yeah. Do you know what I saw was really weird recently? You know TC, who was at Liquid. Yeah. He's coaching Passion.
That's it. Yeah.
How the fuck does that work?
Well,
they're all Ukrainians.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. It's a weird. First off, because I think Kane got kicked.
Yeah, he left. I think he left to start
I think
project.
He got kicked.
Oh, did he get kicked?
Yeah, and like the players were like, oh, it might have been Kane was like, what's going on? Like I remember seeing something about it where it seemed a bit funny. But yeah, TC's in there now. I mean, that team, because I mentioned it quite a lot on broadcast. It is one of the rarest occasions in which a team has been able to sell players, bring in new ones, and the team is just better than the last one. Like, I can't think of a single organisation that's been able to sell players to Fnatic, get like proper bag, and then bring in new people that are just unbelievable.
Yeah, because it's only Jacasmo left.
Yeah, right? Well, S-Chiller was always a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
So he got axed, and then you had Fear move, Jambo move. Who else was there? Zero Fix, he was quite average too.
Yeah.
So, and like Kavem is like a top tier 2 rifler.
Yeah.
Demka's a proper anchor.
It's the Monty call, isn't it? Yeah.
Thing was, I've said it a few times. I actually think eventually Toppers are going to get kicked on that team. It depends on how their results go.
Yeah.
But I think that Warrow could push them further calling once they get to a decent enough level. Like once they start getting a few lands under their belt and they maybe touch the tier 1 circuit like they did with Monty, I think that's the moment where you get rid of Topper and you let Warrow in-game lead, and then you bring in a stronger rifler. Because I think they've got the depth to compete at the top of tier 2 and maybe a little bit higher, but I don't think they've got the depth to compete in tier 1 yet.
Yeah.
So that might be the next move. But then again, those are the sort of moves you only make when you get closer to the goal or you get closer to the marker of being around that position. Because at least Demka and Warrow have done it before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like if SDY wants to move over, because he's just like, well, fuck this with Ents. Like, we're never really getting to tier 1 lands. You guys are getting closer. Mate, SDY on that team.
Jump over, yeah, that'd be nice.
You know, what a move that would be. But, yeah.
Yeah, I remember not paying much attention to them, like Passion after the major run. Like I saw that obviously Fear and Jambo had moved. And then we cast them in a tournament. I looked at the HLT page and I was like doing the prep, and I was like, "Fucking hell! Like, there's nobody left."
Yeah,
from that major team, you got Jacasmo there, and everything else, the coach, everything's different.
But they got new analysts as well now.
So
they got what's his name, Munster, the guy that's used to do the analyst work for Gamer Legion, the Romanian guy. So it's like we've got Romanian analyst. Got a South African coach. We've got 5 Ukrainian players. Like, it is mental.
Yeah, like, because he's not going to get anything listening to their comms. Like,
yeah, no. Do you know who I did see was back recently? It's Barber. He used to play with Freddie B, Rez, Disco Doppler, those kind of guys back in the day. He used to play on Epsilon.
Oh, like on the,
like the tier 2 Swedish teams. He was like
all the names from that team, he's the one I don't remember.
Yeah, no, he was quite a big name back in the day. I thought Barber was, because he used to IGL them. He even played with Plopsky for a bit on Existence Galaxy, and I remember he's now on Johnny Speeds, and he's head coaching them because he went out to Valorant for a bit, and I think he was like coaching there for a few years. And I think it is nice to see a few of the old faces return. Have you ever casted Johnny Speeds recently?
Not recently, no. I think they're really interesting. There's another team, while we were talking about teams that can't get orgs.
Yeah, well...
That's mental.
Well, they have their own org now.
Yeah, well, but that's because they've had no other choice. Like they've had to make that shift because.
Well, I think that there's been a few now. You got Eyeballers that have done it.
Yep.
You've done Johnny Speeds now.
It's always the Swedish scene, or a lot of the time. Like.
And yeah, they've got this male 09 kid who's 15, and he's already won a LAN. I think he's played. Probably one international LAN when he went out to Finland. Yeah. Fuck, he looks good.
Swedish Project Donk.
Yeah, the problem is though, and I've kind of said this about a lot of like even academy players. I feel like you do need to keep them in tier 2 for a while. Like don't send them up too quickly.
It was like Bermilov when he got the jump up to Fnatic. I don't think he was ready.
Well, he wasn't even ready on Mouse NXT.
No,
I actually thought he was very average there. And that's the problem. I think some players deserve the jump.
Yeah.
Like PR probably did.
Yeah.
But there's certain others where I just think you nurture. Like I'd like to see Male 09 stay in the Swedish scene. Give him another 3 years. Wait till he's 18. Like, he's got Barbar coaching. He's got Draken as the AWPer.
Yeah.
Like, you've got decent veteran pieces around you. I think Hampus is going to join up with them because he was with them before he got sold to Metasport, and now that he's been kicked from Metasport, he should go back. So I just think that's like perfect players to be around.
Yeah. Get
a few years. Yeah. And then get the call up to tier 1.
Because the thing is as well, if you get the call up too early, it just fucks your career. Like, it's just GG. Yeah. Like, you know, there's so many players that have gotten the jump up slightly prematurely and then they've just faded.
Well, I think some of it is ego. Like, look at Croman, who was out in Nordovins, played in the Norwegian scene. He got the chance on FaZe. And then as soon as that stand-in period was over, he wanted tier 1 offers.
Yeah.
Tier 1 offers didn't come. So he said, fuck this, and left.
Yeah.
He didn't even go back to tier 2. Like, as soon as he was done with FaZe, that was it. And I think that's an ego boost for a young player. When you get tier 1, you think, oh, well,
especially when you win a tournament. Like, that was mental.
Yeah. There's a lot of forgotten names that it does just happen.
Do you want to stick the chicken on?
Yeah, we can do.
And then we can close out.
Do you know what was quite funny, actually? One of the LANs I casted the other day, Devil Walk and Michael Ailey turned up.
Yeah?
I was like, boys, this is like proper running it back.
Devil Walk's got a podcast with...
with Banks.
Banks, hasn't he? Yeah. That was one that I saw and I was like, damn, I just wouldn't have put this as like a content pairing together, you know?
Well, I think because I worked... one of the Alyssa events in Finland when both of them were there. And I think they do get on, like, genuinely as, like, decent mates, the two of them.
Yeah.
I think certain people just sort of, just get on with one another. So it's kind of funny thinking about those two, because when I went to that LAN, B&E were there, and that was just after, you know, the whole major run, doing quite well. And I sort of remember we were in the hotel lobby and it was like B&E was sort of sitting down with their team because they've got groups, they didn't make the playoffs. They were sort of sitting down and Banks was there and Devil Walk was there. And you could just tell that it's like, this is, because Banks was their manager at the time. And you could just sit there and you could just tell that like they want to try and see if they can maybe get Devil Walk as the coach. And I just remember looking at it at the time and thinking, why on earth would a team like B&E, who's hard-hitting, all about aggression, all about individual form, want to bring in someone like Devil Walk, who's just going to try and, like, tactically put them and shape them into playing proper CS?
Yeah.
And I think that was probably the biggest downfall they made. Like, not to put a finger or blame it onto one person, but to think that even the players got on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, their style of CS has always been, like, incredibly chaotic.
And it's just, like, I just think the whole idea of, like, having structure and just kill that team. And then they brought in Devil Walk, and then they brought in, I think, KJ, who was like some North American coach that was like helping out. Then they brought in Crystal, and I'm like, hang on a second here. Like, I just want Flat Show to just run. Like, I just want him to sit there and just start hitting. And all of a sudden, we've got 2 coaches and an assistant coach. I'm like, well, that's it. They're just fucked.
Yeah, that was wild. Like...
And then they went to Guild, and I think that's where it just got even. I mean, not like it's the whole thing when like Rops buys the Mercedes, wasn't it? It was like, I remember seeing an Instagram post of the boys of like the Guild or B&E. They're like at the Emirates watching a game.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, oh look, it's a day off, isn't it? It's not a prac day. They've gone to the football. Guild's probably given them some tickets.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm like, you haven't won a HLTV game in like 2 months. Do you maybe want to fucking...
Do you want to get in the server and
There's always... The public perception is so different to what it actually is. That will just happen all the time. But yeah, no, I just gave me a little chuckle when I saw them at the Emirates. I'm like, okay. Well, the team's not improving.
It's like,
then, is
yeah,
it?
you can't go and do one of those like big PR stunts like when you're losing that bad, you know.
Thinking of tent. So when I was, this would have been when I was really small. I was a toddler. Lived in a small flat in the CBD of Sydney.
Yeah.
And one of the relatives from England had come out, and there's like these, they're quite, I would say they were quite popular at the time. You still see a lot of them now. They're like a pop-up tent that you take down the beach, right?
Yeah,
it's just like, they pop up, they pop down
tent.
really easily.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about all the poles. And anyway, this one was like an igloo, because it's like a kid's one, you know, it's in the shape of an igloo, it's got a little entrance, whatever. And there's like video footage of it being opened in this tiny flat. And obviously it just doesn't fit, does it? So it like opens and it's like semi-open. But you can't put it back down until it's all open. And it's just like the nightmare of trying to get this tent in a flat down. I think the Aussies definitely do certain things right when it comes to like outdoor living. Like the public barbecues on the beaches and the parks. They're just great. You
have public barbecues?
Yeah, so they're literally coin operated.
Let that cool down. Coin operated public barbecue?
So it's just like a gas barbecue, but it will be like a plate.
Yeah.
Like a stainless steel plate on the top. And you just put in a couple of pounds and you just turn it on and it lasts, let's say, an hour or whatever.
That's unbelievable.
And then the idea is that when you're finished with it, you just kind of clear up after yourself. And for the most part, people are pretty good. You know, people don't like trash it or whatever. And you'll find them on the beaches, in the parks.
That is so cool.
So you just kind of come, like if you, like, let's say Friday after work, you know, fancy a couple of drinks, like, right, we'll go down to the park, bring some sausages with us, bring some steaks. Couple of quid.
That's so cool,
in the barbecue. Obviously, it's not going to taste as, like, I know the English.
Hey, you alright?
Yeah, everything okay?
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
lovely.
Good.
Yeah, just had some food.
So yeah, no, they're wicked.
That's really cool. I feel like they get trashed if they're over here. I don't know. I have quite a low low opinion of the general British public.
Yeah, you might be right.
But I do think it's a very cool idea.
It's got milk as well.
Yeah, I didn't bring the coffee though, did I?
Oh, right.
Or the kettle. So
Did like half a job there.
yeah. I bet you've seen that camera with a towel on it on the tripod and thought, what the fuck are these guys doing? No.
Last year, it was like December. It was just, I think it was about 3 days before I flew to Oz. We did this 1 day LAN in Hungary.
Yeah.
So it was like a I-Series convention with a LAN final.
Okay.
And we were brought on to do the arena casting, but yet on Twitch, it was like different English casters. I was like, hang on a second.
What?
So they had online casters at home
Casting.
do the final for the stream. So there's no VOD of my casting at this LAN because it was only broadcasted to the arena.
That's wild.
In which there was like 100 people because it's just an expo. And the majority of people sat down for like a few rounds and then
left, yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, that's wild. Like, you're there.
It was quite cool though, because there was, you probably would have never have seen them, but there was a team that played on HLTV a few times called BEE, that were like a Hungarians. I think Sorex even played with them. And I cast them a few times in like, I don't know, Thunderpick or just some random tournament. And we were like walking around the expo hall, and BEE is like a governmental, like, I don't know, name in Hungary. And it full had like the team's logos and the jerseys. was like, oh, these are the boys that I've like cast on HLTV from 8 years ago or whatever. They're like still going, except just not in CS anymore. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But and then as well, we were like walking around and there was like this whole like anime cosplay thing going on. And I kid you not, it was like 500 people like in the crowd. Like they're loving it.
Yeah.
I'm like, hang on. So like no one's watching the Counter-Strike, but then we've got this cosplay dance and like people are going mental. I'm like, well, this just tells you all about the Hungarian CS scene that like, how are we here?
That's rough. Yeah.
I was like, there's obviously people here. The convention was rammed. And then there was like a casino in the middle of the hall. It had like doors and everything. But I was just under the assumption that like it was like proper money. They were like, no, you just like gamble, but like there's no money.
But there's no actual money.
And I was like, oh, well, if I would have known that, I would have been playing the poker.
Yeah, you'd have been in there.
But yeah, no, it was such a weird event. And then the polls that took, because it was like Cubics were in the final, and they're like the other Kosovo players.
Yeah.
And then there was the Polish Illumina there, and like 2 of them had turned up like without mice and keyboards. I'm like, how?
It's a LAN.
I just like, how? I do not understand.
That's crazy.
And it was a 3-0 best of, like we flew in the day before, stayed the night, did the best of 5, and we were going to stay the night again and then go in the morning. And I think our flight, let's say it was like 7 a.m. So I was like, okay, maybe like the hotel wasn't far from the airport. I was like, okay, maybe we leave about like 5, like 4:30. And this rep that was with us, he was like, nah, 2 o'clock. I'm like, bro, like the flight's at 7. Bro, this taxi turns up at 2 and he's like launching it. I've never seen a taxi drive as quick as this fella.
If you want to hear the end of Dweg's taxi story, you're going to have to watch the extended cut on Patreon. It's much longer than this edition. There's plenty of little bits that are cut out in between. It's a good watch, so head over. That is where this episode ends, but I just want to give a final thank you to Dweg for hanging out with me. Make sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time.